No, you were asking about how much capital you might need, and yeah, I do know that if you're going to start a restaurant from scratch, you're better off having a good $150,000 set aside. That's usually what it takes at a minimum, and you can spend a whole hell of a lot more, and some people
Mm.
have. But I know you can set one up that will be profitable within a short period of time. So you do need some money, but you can borrow that, or you can, hit your folks up or something. But um, it's it always helps to have some money. On the other hand, the first restaurant I did really started with none. So it's also possible to do what we call bootstrapping.
Mhm.
We worked a hell of a lot, and we were very lucky because we had extremely cheap rent, and we were in a big college town where people just, if you've got something interesting to eat and it's cheap, you're going to sell a lot of it. So we were doing pretty well right out of the gate. Um,
Mhm.
and I still have ideas for restaurants. That's the problem. I still have There are ideas about what I'm looking for in food, because my interest has become very much in nutrition too. So all the restaurants have led me to trying to be sure that the food we serve actually has nutritional value and no negatives. Of course, organic and free range beef and all that stuff. So I've learned quite a lot about nutrition, and I keep thinking there's more work to be done, but my doctors don't want me to do it. I'll explain it to you later, and you can do it.
Okay. You're thinking of doing it in Catalonia as well, or because I'd love to
Well,
hear what kind of if it's harder or easier to do it there, if there's more
well, it'll be
regulatory requirements and that kind of thing.
right. It'll be harder for me because I don't understand
Right, the language, yeah.
a lot of the normal ways of doing things. I mean, one thing I've noticed is you generally have to have papers legalized and notarized about 12 times over there, and
Yeah.
it's not as bureaucratically dense as it is here, I should say.
Oh
But
yeah.
I have enough friends over there who do get it. One of my good friends, another one of the Nubiola clan, is quite sophisticated at finance and understanding leases and things like this. But the real question is going to be, what will landlords be looking for in this new world when so many businesses can't make it? So, can you find a place that's not going to be expensive? Can you find a market that will come to your product or will order your product online? Again, this happened here where many of the restaurants that were wonderful simply couldn't adjust to being mostly takeout. And without that change, you're not going to make it. And here, for instance, the other burger restaurant that I started made a very successful transition to a completely takeout program where all of these things happen online. There's no money transacted. The delivery guys just come up and show them a number, and they hand them a bag full of food. Um, and that's what you have to have, is somebody technologically comfortable with a lot of the programs for delivery, and setting up your menu online, and learning to speak to people through the internet. And that's not always obvious to restaurateurs. We may be good at making food, but not very many of us understand the internet very well. Well, younger guys do, and that's where you hire your nephew to come in and build your website. And those places are successful. Actually, some of these places are doing just as well as they did before the epidemic started, um, because they made the successful adjustment. And whether that's possible in Catalonia, I don't know. In Barcelona, I'm sure it is, but um, first we have to see how this is all going to play out. When will we have some capacity to reopen stores and
Mm.
things like this? I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, so if
Yeah.
I see opportunities there, more than likely I will mostly work as a consultant. I would say, I know what works. Let me help you adjust how your business is working, say out in the middle of some small town. Maybe the only restaurant in town, but still has to be change. Their model has to change. That's the issue. You have to develop a bit different business model,
Right.
and at the same time, still look at what people want. You still have to market normally. You still have to communicate with your customers, and that's way more challenging now. So
Hmm.
it's for people that have entrepreneurial spirit, this is an interesting time,
Yeah.
and it will be interesting for some time, but still very big uncertainty. So I'm not sure. Sometimes I think it's a good idea to sit tight and not be too active, and other times I think, wow, there's a ton of opportunities out there. So who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, and what you say about the restaurants being this as successful, if not more successful than before, from an operational process improvement mindset, because that's where the world that I'm in, I see that yeah, it's a lot easier to do takeout and have the kitchen running food way faster than having a bottleneck of people that sit, having them hang out for half an hour to an hour and a half or whatever the timetable is.
Yeah.
You can do a whole lot more throughput with that.
Well, actually, that's also another example is the people that are doing this successfully are doing it with less labor because they don't need a front of house crew, and you may need one person to greet customers who stumble in still, but mostly you just need your crew in the back, and it's also more delineated by time, so it's easy to build your crew up at the right time and cut down. So my friends that are still doing this are experiencing lower labor costs, which means they're actually making more money now
Right.
because the food costs are roughly the same. Um, it's pretty interesting. I still have two of my the young guys I taught how to be successful, or one of them's in Eugene with 3 restaurants, and one is in Portland with the other Tacovore, um, and they're young enough and hip enough to have figured out the computer thing, and so they've made the adjustment really well, and they're doing great. It's I'm happy to see that for them.
Yeah.
Um, but I keep asking one of my friends if Catalonia needs a burrito bar, if Barcelona in particular, because I think burritos are a wonderful. You can put anything you want in them, like a taco, and you can design food that's really for portability. And I originally designed my burritos to fit in a water bottle cage. So that the idea was after your 30-mile ride in the country, you'd ride by the restaurant, slide a burrito in the water bottle cage, ride home and sit on your front porch and
Have a
chow down.
burrito. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that was the whole point of my business, in fact. So again,
Yeah.
burritos, maybe there'll be room for a burrito restaurant in Barcelona. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I, yeah, let
I'll
me
keep
know.
you in
Let
the
me,
loop.
yeah, I'd love to know your experiences and how things work out over there. That would be interesting. Burritos, I don't know if there are burrito places there.
Not really.
Yeah.
They typically are part of a Mexican food thing, which is also not very popular there. The
Yeah.
Mexican food is too spicy for the Catalan palate.
Right.
No, it's true,
No,
and
I know. I know my girlfriend is anything remotely spicy. It's off limits. I have to put the spice separate from her.
exactly. But at the same time, there's some good food items, and there's a way to make a burrito any way you want. You can make it into a totally Catalan style thing, or you can make it, you can be completely inventive, and you don't really need a full kitchen. That's the beauty of the concept. You can do it in a cart, which I think is another area that will develop well. Carts are not my normal way of doing things, but I see the model. I know it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
Um,
Food trucks even, right?
exactly. Carts are food trucks where,
Yeah.
basically you go where the customers are, and you don't have to wait for them to find you. So that's another interesting model. I've seen a few of those in Barcelona. Some of them are very clever, but they typically are little French pastry things or stuff like that. You know, no burrito carts.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it sounds like.
At some point, if you did it right and you publicized it correctly and you figured out how to join the hipster movement there, how to make burritos an item of weapons of mass destruction or something. You know, use them to throw those at the Spanish police. I don't know.
Right. And also collecting a following. When I was in Miami, I mean, food trucks, I mean, it's been going around now 10, 15, 20 years maybe in the US. People would be following them on Twitter or on Instagram or whatever, and they would announce wherever they are, random place, and then people would be like, okay, I'm going there. It's Thursday, I'm over there.
That's exactly the point, is you create more than just a place to eat something. It's a kind of a little social network of people who get it. So the opportunities there, again, using social media, they're incredible. And with the right people and the right energy and a great mission, you know, you'll find customers, and you just figure out how to connect them with your food or other things. You know, there's not just you know, I have a giant T-shirt collection, and I'm wondering if I should get into T-shirts, but there's too many of those people already doing that. So, but who knows? We'll see.
It's opportunity. There's always opportunity, right?
Well, again,
positive mindset, right?
Yeah, you just gotta look for something that people don't think about and solve a problem. That's always what I tell you. Solve a problem. Make something that people need, and it's easier for them than cooking at home. And you know, the price has got to hit that right level.
Right.
I'm into cheap food, cheap street food. It's really my favorite kind of way to eat, and you get to try all kinds of crazy stuff that way. I saw a Filipino cart here in Portland. I'm going to go check out, maybe right now.
Awesome.
I have no idea what Filipino food is, but I guess I'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah, the opportunity's there, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Richard, thank you so much for being here and taking the time to talk a little bit here about Caganez and everything, and about entrepreneurship. It's always all interesting.
That's right. So I'll be happy to connect up again sometime soon when we're either in Eugene or we get you guys up here for some sort of big dinner once this pandemic subsides.
Absolutely, yeah. And also then do another interview once you guys are in Catalonia, or once you start getting opportunities there. It'd be great. Awesome.
That'll be good fun. So I look forward to it.
All right. Well. All right. Això ha estat un altre episodi de Fora de Catalunya.